If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. This Monday night, witness the end of an era. John Cena takes center stage for his final appearance ever on Monday Night Raw. One last match, one unforgettable farewell. Come celebrate the legacy of a true WWE legend. Monday Night Raw, November 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, only on Netflix. Be there for the moment everyone will be talking about.
Sunday morning. What is today is Joe Gruters, the Republican National Committee chairman, and a good friend, and the hardest working guy I know. And, Chairman Gruters, congratulations on bringing the country back this week. And how does it feel to have a big win?
Well, listen, John, at the end of the day, the Democrats, after 43 days of holding Americans hostage, they got nothing, not a single thing in the final bill. And so, yes, it's a win for getting America back to work, but the losers are all Americans. I mean, the fact that the Democrats are willing to do everything they possibly can to stop the president from being successful at anything just shows you how they've lost reality and what they're willing to do. And it should reinforce, our message of that this is why we got to win the midterms. The Democrats, the 43 days that they, held the government hostage, they're going to do the same thing for 2 years if they win the majority in the House or the Senate. So that's why everything we do we have to stay on the plan that we have, and we have to win the midterms at all costs. So
now there's a disaster in the Democratic Party. The socialists are trying to make the Democratic Party theirs, which is one of the two major parties in our country. And I've talked to Doug Schoen, who's a major Democratic pollster and strategist, and he thinks that the socialists could win. Any gut feeling? I mean, what the heck is going on in the Democratic Party? Is there any common sense left? Number one, any common sense left? And is there anybody with courage enough to stand up against the socialists?
No, it's not. And what you're seeing across the country is more candidates on the left, the extreme left, the Mamdani and AOC and Bernie Sanders left that are raising their hand saying that they want to run. And listen, we know what communism and socialism will do to a system. Go look at the countries that have it right now. 90% of their population is in poverty. Churchill correctly said that socialism is a disease. Listen, it's a cancer. We need to cut it out. We've been fighting it for 100 years. And for people to think that this is the path to prosperity in the American dream, we failed. Our education system has failed the fact that people are voting these candidates in. To me, I don't understand it. But listen, we're going to do everything we possibly can to highlight what their policies will do at the end of the day. And there's no such thing as a free lunch. It's only poverty and misery and a path to despair and devastation in our local communities. The president's done such a great job of trying to appeal from day one. There's been nobody that's gone to bat for the average American more than the president. With his big, beautiful bill, the no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, the child tax credits. He is literally doing everything he can to make sure we reverse the damage that Biden did. And listen, the last 50 years, all of the presidents sold the American workers down the street. The President Trump is the first guy to actually bring investments back in to try to prop up the manufacturing base and try to help our communities. This is the president we're supporting. That's we're going to ride his back all the way to the midterms. But yes, I have no idea why the left is clinging to these far left socialist extreme positions. But listen, that's where their base is, and so they're placating to them.
Well, President Trump being the leader of the Republican Party, has brought it back to the party of Abraham Lincoln, which freed slavery, and it was a party of the people that was for the working people. There is more working people, there's more union people in support of President Trump and the Republican Party than any time before. How do you see that going forward?
Well, listen, he genuinely cares about the well-being of Americans, and that's all Americans. He wants to lift everybody up. It's a rising tide lifts all ships. He wants our communities to be strong. He wants there to be, why do you think he's closed the border and he's shooting missiles at these drug boats? He's eliminating the poison that's killing our kids on the streets. He's a law and order president. He's doing everything he can to get reinvestments back into our communities. Like I said before, for 5 decades, presidents have been selling out the American worker. Nobody cares about the little guy. President Trump has gone to bat literally on all those tax credits, but literally in the investment that you won't see right away. These things are, going to take, a decade or two for people to realize the impact that he's having. But listen, it took, Biden had 4 years and he literally destroyed the economy, Biden inflation, the prices going through the roof. That's created the situation that we're in now, and it's the president that's slowly clawing everything back. We've seen a real drop in prices in gas, a real drop in prices of eggs and at the store. But listen, I feel for everybody out there that's suffering as a result of the previous administration, but the president's working overtime to go to bat for the average American out there.
Joe, I was interviewed by the Washington Post yesterday, and, they're always looking for fault. I said, what fault are we looking for? When President Trump was the president of 45, oil was at $50 a barrel, $52 a barrel. Then under President Biden, it went to $90 a barrel. We made Iran rich, we made Russia rich, and made the American people poor. Now that President Trump is back again, well, guess what? Oil is back to $55, $58, $59 a barrel right now. And the price of gasoline is going to come down further and further and further. And once President Trump is able to kick Chairman Powell in the butt, interest rates will come down so people can afford homes again and be able to get 30-year mortgages and maybe 50-year mortgages. Oh, I mean, we're certainly going in the right direction. And there's $17 trillion or $18 trillion, you said the other day, that is going to come into America as investment. I mean, the stock market is hitting an all-time high. I mean, he's doing everything possible to make the American dream.
Yes, and he's doing a great job. And listen, we need to highlight it more, and he should be celebrated because, like I said, here you have a president who's literally going to bat every single day for the average Americans, trying to do everything he can to make sure people have a path to the American dream. And wait until the Invest Act kicks in. We're only a couple of months away for every child under the age of 2 to start off with a Trump bond with minimum $1,000 in the account. It's going to be available to every kid under the age of 18. This is a game changer. How do you fight socialism, John? Well, you show people the capitalistic system, and you give them a path to where they can participate in the successes. And it's going to be a game changer for everybody, for the country. I'm so excited that that bill was passed and that we're going to push this because all of a sudden when kids turn 18, they're going to have a pile of money, and if they're smart, they'll save it until much later on, and they could retire with potentially $1 million or more in their account. It's a huge game changer. Let people participate. That's how we reverse the trend of these socialist policies. It's not by handing them free stuff. It's by giving them a chance to live the American dream, have them participate in it, have them see what it is. And just a personal example, John, I brought my kid's been saving. I have an 11-year-old son. He's been saving, and we put $3,000 into the stock market 2 years ago. And I asked him, what company do you like? And I told him, I said, what company do you want to own? And we talked about different things. And he settled on Tesla stock. And his stock went from $3,000, I think it's like worth $7,500 today. And every day he wakes up and he looks at where the stock price is, and he understands the value of compounding interest. He understands the value of investing. And that's what hopefully we're going to be able to do with all these kids and all these families across the country. It's going to make a huge impact long term. And that's the president. He made that happen. And that's one thing after another that he's doing on behalf of the average everyday American out there.
And that's 100% because my son was president of his stock market thing in high school, and that set him on, my God, this is the way of capitalism. And you got to teach the young kids how the American capitalist system works, and I agree with you 100%. But, Joe, we got only a few minutes left. We had a few disappointments in the election of November 4th, the state of Virginia and the state of New Jersey. Any gut feeling what the heck happened? Because New Jersey was supposed to be almost a winner.
Yeah, listen, and I campaigned with Jack Chiarelli a couple of times. He had the X factor. He's a great candidate. I hope he doesn't go away. I hope he runs for Congress or some other position. The guy is a winner. He has what it takes. But the problem is sometimes, and I always say this, sometimes you have the best candidates in just the wrong states. And what happened in New Jersey and Virginia, if you look at the voter registration and the makeup of their states, people went home and voted their jerseys. So the results weren't necessarily unexpected. You know, we all had hopes that Chiarelli would pull off a victory. But at the end of the day, people voted the party line, and he was unsuccessful. But he's still a great candidate. You know, I thought his message was a winner. But listen, people are the left. They're being drawn under the fake promises of the free giveaways in La La Land. But if they're actually paying attention to the real issues, we would have won. But like I said, at the end of the day, we're going to continue on the plan that we already have in place. That plan is to make sure that we win the midterms. We are gearing up where, people can go to swampthevote.com to sign up to help be part of our overall efforts. Because, listen, we're gearing up because failure is not an option. We have to win. What you saw in the first 43 days of the shutdown is exactly what the Democrats are going to do. They're going to be obstructionist. They're going to impeach. They're going to investigate. President Trump's all the momentum, all the good things that he's doing, it's all going to come to an end if we don't win the midterms. But people need to actively participate. And if you think that somebody didn't do enough or, there wasn't enough activity, go to swampthevote.com and get involved. Doesn't matter where you are, but join the movement because we have to win the midterms. That's the bottom line, John.
Chairman Joe Gruters, Republican National Committee, thank you for bringing between your President Trump and yourself, bringing the Republican Party back to the party of the working people and caring about America. God bless you. We have to continue these conversations, but God bless you and God bless America. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
What I bought? A new Blink Mini 2K Plus smart security camera. What I got? 2K clarity sharp enough to see every detail of home when I'm away. Plus audio like I'm in the room, not with my bestie traveling to another city. Plus easy plug-in setup to install faster than skipping through podcast ads. But you'd never skip ads, right? Plus, I got all of this for just $49.99. Blink Mini 2K Plus. Mini camera, max performance. Shop now at Amazon.com/Blink.